Hey everybody, it's Party Elite with a beginner's guide to Total War Warhammer. In this video, I want to show you a great way of forcing the enemy into disarray and breaking their otherwise powerful infantry line. I'm playing as the Vampire Counts, and I'll be fighting a small Dwarven army. You'll see that my army is significantly outclassed by the Dwarf army. It looks like the game says I have about a 30 to 40% chance of winning, and that's based on unit count, stats, and quality. Now, I know my infantry is horribly outclassed. Skeleton warriors aren't worth much in a head-on fight. You can see my stats, and you can also see and compare them to their Dwarven counterparts. I think even the Quarrelers could probably take out my skeletons in melee. So this tells me that the skeletons cannot, under any circumstances, be in a prolonged one-on-one fight with a Dwarf warrior unit. They will drop like flies, and probably start to crumble instantly. That's the vampiric equivalent of a rout, where they'll stay in position, but they'll fight extremely poorly. So let's see how I deal with that. What I'm about to show you works great for extremely wide engagements as well, and while there are easier flanking maneuvers to do, they are significantly more predictable, meaning the enemy is more likely to prepare for them. Also, I don't want to leave my skeleton warriors far from my cavalry for too long, as it might give them further cause to break, and I need them to stick it out for as long as possible, so don't want to send my cavalry out on a wide flanking maneuver. Now, we're going to arrange the infantry in a straight front line, the Lord is right behind them, and the cavalry is a little further away. That distance is very important, because otherwise this tactic just might not work. Now, we're marching forward to a losing battle, as we know, head-on, pound for pound, so to speak. My skeletons will get crushed, they also have ranged. I'm probably not going to win this fight. But as I get closer, I'm going to hurry my front line up and get them to run forward towards the enemy front line. And you'll notice that I don't care for the Quarreler that's alone on the side. I'm going straight for their melee units, even though they're behind their ranged units. Now I'm having them run so that they spend the least amount of time under arrow fire. I don't want them to die off before they even reach or engage the enemy. And as soon as I'm convinced that the enemy has committed to the attack, to attacking my attackers, I'm going to peel them away at an angle so that the enemy is forced to give chase. Now this takes a lot of micromanagement to get perfectly. Basically though, you want to spread your front line out as much as possible, and as you can see here, this rips the enemy front line apart, in some cases allowing me to safely flank the front line with those initial units themselves. At the same time, there's this gaping hole for my cavalry to now rush through, where there was once a line of axes. So, I've got my cavalry heading straight for the Dwarven ranged units, and as the battle continues, I keep an eye on morale, battle conditions, and I cast a spell here and there, but most importantly, I keep sending my powerful cavalry around the battlefield to provide support where needed. This tactic has opened up the entire Dwarven formation, allowing my cavalry free rein, and the ability to hit every unit from behind with cavalry without being intercepted. So I kept moving around the field, pushing their ranged units around, and then turning back to hit melee units from behind or from the side. This type of freedom ultimately resulted in a victory, since the dwarves always had unprotected flanks and were constantly being attacked from behind, all factors that reduce morale and help shatter their resolve. So there we have it. Not the greatest victory by far, and I could have done a lot better had I micromanaged further, but the odds can be stacked against you. The quality of your troops might be laughable in comparison to the opponent, as can their numbers or their abilities, but with some unconventional thinking and a trick up your sleeve, you can easily tip the scales, and that's what being a great general is about. For more tips and tricks, subscribe to this channel, and if there's something you'd like to see covered, let me know in the comments below.